Welcome back to Nifty Network. Today we have a G35 coupe in, and I'm going to show you how to remove the radio faceplate and also the radio receiver, the actual box of it. And this is the same on G35 coupe and G35 sedan. Sometimes these are really loose, sometimes they're not. First things first, you're just going to put your flathead in there and slide this down. And then there's going to be a little metal clip right here. So slide the pin, or slide your pick down the face of the clip. Make sure it doesn't go flying. Pull that off, and then that will just release the shift knob to come right up like that. All right, now that we have the shift knob off, I'm going to show you how to remove the shift bezel. This just sets in here. What you want to do, though, is you want to get the car into neutral or drive. If it is in drive, make sure that your e-brake is pressed and your foot is on the brake. Don't take it off in case you're on like a hill or whatever it may be. So press in on the shift lock right there. I'm just using a straight pick. You'll feel it. There's like a little level or a little like a base right there, and then you're just going to push down. It's spring loaded, and then that will allow you to move the shifter back. And once the shifter is back, you want to grab a flathead, and I'm going to go in on this side. Just go in right between those two plastics. Give it a little pry. You might hear some like clips doing their thing, and if it's not popping out, just work your way around it, and they'll come out. Just don't be, with all these plastic interior pieces, you don't want to be super aggressive with it. So once you have the back of it out, you're just going to pull back to like the back seats, and then that will release the front part of the bezel. So then we're going to see a couple plugs under here. What I like to do is I'll rotate it to the passenger side, and then get it to a point where you can see the clip that needs to be pressed down, or the plug that needs to be pressed down. So go in there with your flathead, twist it sideways, and then you have one more small brown plug right there. You can probably pinch that and get it off. All right, and then next thing on the list, we're going to pull out the radio. And this one's kind of tricky because you do have to remove some parts on the clock bezel on the top. And there's a screw basically that holds the whole top section of this out. And you have to pull this little metal trim piece out. So we'll start with that first. We'll get up there and we'll pop this black piece off. And same thing with this, just get your flathead in between the dash and the black beauty trim and just work your way around. And don't force it, and it'll come out easy and in one piece. So that comes out like that, and yours won't have a rag in here. I don't know why. I don't know why there's a rag in this one, but there's a little screw right here at the top. So grab a Phillips head screwdriver, and you'll see a small tab right there. That is, I would say, the hack in doing that. Also, don't drop your screw like I just did. A lot of people will take off the radio and they'll be yanking on this thing, but the trick is that little screw right there. So next thing, we'll get the metal trim piece taken off. I just grab a little 90 pick, slide it in between the dash, and pull straight towards you. Also, this will bend really easily, so work your way down. And then that's removed. We'll just put that right there for now. And the reason you take that off is because when you pull the radio faceplate, if the whole thing isn't off, it'll just bend right here. So now we'll go to the easier part. Okay, so you're going to see two screws on the bottom of the radio. Obviously lefty-loosey. And try not to drop screws. It makes it really inconvenient. And there's another one here on the left side. Okay, and then when those are out, just feel to see what is loose or not. I'm going to take off the side portions of the center console to free up some space. And I believe there's screws under here, like on this side. So we'll take these two off. These rotate up. They're two different pieces. So just grab that and then we'll go straight up with it. And this walks out of here like that. Don't break that because these clips will also break very easily. So same thing on this side, lift straight up in the back. Get that out get it out away from the center console, and then just rotate straight up and you'll feel it loosen up. Okay, so now we see there's two more screws. There's one at the top and top left and top right. So we'll take those out and the radio should come out. And then if everything's loose, you'll feel it right away. I mean, I'm sure you saw that just now in the video. I give it a tiny wiggle here at the bottom and you can instantly watch this thing come out. So just gently slide it forward. There's that tab that we had undone first. So make sure that that's not catching on everything. So if we're running out of room, or if we're running into something catching, don't just pull harder. Find out where it's catching. Okay, so what I did was I rotated the faceplate to the passenger side, and it freed up some space. I'm gonna get that big tab out of the way. We're gonna have some plugs on the back of the radio. And they're on this side. And in this whole thing, I'm being very gentle with this. You don't want to rip any wires or break any clips. So we'll get to the bottom of this. We're gonna see the dash harness plugging into the radio. So just press down on the clips, or the plug clips right there that remove it. Push down, make sure it's out, give it a little tug. I'm gonna actually use a flathead. So you push that down and just give it a little twist, free it up. And then you're gonna have an antenna plug right here. This will pop out as well. So there's a release plug right here, or a release clip. Pinch that and slide it straight out. And then we have looks like we have one last cable. And then this is also hooked up to a clip. So press down right there. Give it a tiny tug. And should be pretty free. I'm going to get this clip removed out of here for the antenna. Alright. Oops. And that is how you remove a radio faceplate and your radio receiver out of a G35 coupe or G35 sedan.